Okay, I just started recording. Is that okay? Hey, ni hao. Hello.
Shalom Alachem.
Yes, shalom.
Guten Abend.
Guten Tag. Seamus.
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend.
Mein Name ist Shamus.
And I gotta go now, so I'll be on the next video.
Ah, you gotta go now. Oh, perfect.
I'm Seamus.
До свидания. Well, so I'm live streaming. Well, not live streaming. I'm recording with only Seamus right now. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Never mind.
oh. Never mind. Perfect.
Never mind. Perfect.
Hold on, I'm still watching out. On Earth. Anyways.
Okay. Brug no find Hollabunga bad. Okay, anyways. So, I'm thinking about starting a live stream of Stellaris. I'm thinking I have two ideas for the Stellaris live stream. Well, three ideas. One is a revival of essentially the Holy Britannic Empire. The second is a revival of the Republic of Kivul, and essentially picking where we left off, although creating an entirely new republic and all that. The third would be live streaming as Imperial Japan on the Earth.
You should make a nation called the New Order of Volcaria.
Say New Order of Bulgaria.
Volcaria.
No, the New Order of, how about the New Order of Volcanorden?
There is one problem. There's one problem with that. I don't want my first live stream, my first Stellaris series, having Nazis.
Oh, well, they're not Nazis. I mean, they're...
Sounds a little too Nazi. Too
Too Nazi. I see what you mean, but too Nazi. It's kind of a strange way to phrase it.
Strange way to phrase it, I would say. They're not Nazis, but alright.
I know. It sounds...
You know what you mean.
Yeah, it sounds a little too similar to Nazi. I agree they're not Nazis, but it's sort of like the Authority.
Yes, I do like the Authority.
You know what the Authority is?
I do.
Only has servant.
Not really support, not... Not really the biggest supporter of them, but I guess they can live, I guess. There's...
I don't like them. I don't like the National Socialists either.
Yeah, they're raising German army men. They're kind of annoying.
Yeah. German men strong. German men, I mean, Nazi men kind of sort of strong, but Nazi government not strong.
Yeah, it's, and I'm thinking we should either be Kivul, we should be...
You can make an entirely new nation fresh.
Okay. I do kind of...
Turkish, Syrian, Iraqi, Saudi, Israeli,
Republic of Judah.
Keep in mind we're all on the recording right now.
Yeah, I understand that. That's why I tried to refer to them.
Yeah, the raising right arm men bad.
Yes.
Anyway,
the German ones.
Yeah, the German ones.
You should make, perhaps you could make Kazakhstan.
No, like the thing is that a nation has to rule over an entire planet.
Yes, the New World Order of Kazakhstan.
Here's an interesting idea. Imperial Federation.
Imperial Federation. Why do you need a federation?
Here's the idea. The German and British empires unite in World War the German and British
But
empires
they
remain.
They wouldn't be a federation. They'd be. What else?
Here's my idea, though. They start out as a vague alliance of nations, and then grow to become a single unified nation. So my idea is that
You're talking like what Spain and Portugal did at one point.
yeah, except this would become permanent. As so, the Imperial Federation.
Iberia.
The Imperial Federation is essentially the German Empire. The divergence point for the Imperial Federation occurs when the German Empire.
If we're gonna be honest here, the German Empire and the British Empire are kind of the same.
You're talking about monarchist, the two monarchist ones, and yeah.
Like if you had to tell me,
here, 'cause the British are actually Proto-Germans, and the English language is actually just Proto-Germanic.
Yeah.
So basically,
there are definitely many differences though between the
the
German.
English are just Germans, basically. The Italics tried to colonize Britain first, but they failed. The only true British men are the Welsh, the Irish, and the Manx.
What about the Scots?
The Scots are the Irish.
Well,
The Irish.
you wee laddie, you're trying to
from
say that
Ireland
Scotland is a
colonized-
part of Ireland? Our accents are very different.
The Gaelic from Ireland colonized Scotland.
I know, but
I mean, the Normans as well. I mean, they're.
The Normans
Yeah.
are German too.
Oh yeah.
The Normans. I personally wish that English became a full-on Romance language.
No, it wouldn't make sense though, because like most of the words that people actually use are Germanic. Even if more of the language is Latin,
English is just evolved German.
Yeah, I think that
the word
English.
for example, comes from like Old Norse word.
English is just like evolved German, but mixed with other Brittonic languages over time.
And some Romance as well.
Yeah, and definitely some French. I wish that if English sounded a lot better, and I personally think that sometimes English is one of the most beautiful languages in the world.
It doesn't
sometimes.
sound good because it's our native language, but to
Yeah.
other foreigners, it sounds great.
Yeah, like to someone in like Poland, you think English sounds like how people in America think like Chinese or Russian sounds. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it depends where you live.
It really is one of the most difficult languages to learn in the entire world.
I mean, it would be, but there's so many resources for it. Like
Yeah.
English normally would be a difficult language because of like the really retarded grammar we have.
Yeah. I wish English
I've actually
became full-on Romance.
What's funny is I've met some Americans who speak English better than actual British people.
Yeah. Of course.
That's me British.
Oh.
No, we can't even try that.
I mean,
Oh. Are you trying to say that I would not be a good Englishman?
I swear, British people like their fucking accents sound fake, even though it's technically the correct English accent.
It is the correct English accent. Like, have you ever
What?
Have you ever seen that interview between Julius Howe, the Confederate veteran, who, like, if you notice, if you hear it, you'll notice the Southern accent from 150 years ago actually sounds like the English accent in a lot of ways.
Yeah, like the Southern accent sounds a lot more like British or like more Irish and like English than it does.
Anything else.
the
If you
normal
actually go back, like, you know how Mosley says his L's, like, it's quite naturally, like that?
Yeah.
The old Southerners used to do the same thing.
I actually really hope with the American accent because more British.
Uh,
I always type with like British English, just because honestly it's more natural.
it's more of it's inspired by the Native American. The American accent is inspired by how the Native Americans spoke English.
It just sounds boring, honestly, as a native speaker of it.
It depends on if you want a native speaker of it, that's because It's interesting how it evolved, but it's just a mixture of all the accents from all the different cultures. I mean, Louisiana, look at Louisiana, it's a completely different breed of just
It's like
French.
French. It's basically French English.
J'aime la France.
They still speak French in Louisiana. So
Well, like the Creole, but yeah, they still speak a form of French. From
Yeah.
Canada, ironically, if you don't know.
well,
I know.
Louisiana, Margarita.
I don't know why they got forced to go down to Louisiana and not anywhere else. But that's just that point.
The only
Okay.
Louisiana I never known was a dickhead, so I don't like to even
I
talk
lived
about it.
somewhere. I lived somewhere that used to have like a big French-speaking majority until like the 1900s. So there's a lot of French influence here, and I can just tell. Like the Louisiana people must have lived here at one point. Like we have this dialect here called Pawpaw French. It sounds
The only Louisiana I've ever met was a dickhead, so I don't like to. Louisiana just reminds me of him. So.
honestly, Louisiana's kind of based with the language stuff. So I wouldn't want to live there just because of the fact that they're, their food shit, and also they're freaking gay.
Well, you do know you have another reason is because you have bayous with constant alligators and humidity.
Oh yeah, the South in general has that problem. Thankfully, I'm
And
in the Midwest where we don't have alligators or oceans.
In Tennessee, we don't have alligators in the east. Maybe some in the west, but not very many.
I think
Okay.
we have alligators in the Buda, Missouri, which is like the
When I first came into Missouri to come to the south, I was actually so surprised by the trees and humidity I couldn't even handle it.
It's not that bad here, honestly.
I know,
Okay.
but as a Utah person, you gotta understand, someone who's only used to dry climate. It was
Oh, yeah.
completely different.
I mean, like, it depends where you are in the state. Like where I live, which I'm not saying on this video, obviously, because it's recorded, but I live less in the humid areas. So the
Yeah.
climate here is a little better. But like in the Southwest, like the Ozarks and Branson, it's like really humid. It's unbearable.
I mean, hey, I live in Omaha. It's been revealed 25 trillion times
I'm just
before.
not saying my city or like what part of Missouri I'm from, just because like Missouri.
Yeah.
My city's big, but there's always a chance something could happen. I'm not risking it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
I'll say I'm from Missouri though. It's a big state, so.
yeah. Nebraska's a pretty big state too.
You got triggered by that video earlier. I sent you.
Like, I am kind of tired of people just saying that Nebraska's only corn and steaks. First of all, yeah, we do know how to make good steaks.
I
But-
hate steaks. It was
And
negative.
more butter.
You hate steak?
Yeah, I don't like
Steaks
steak.
are gays. The pork steaks are gays. I mean, it's not kosher, so I can't
I
even eat
don't
it.
like steak. I think.
It sucks.
Oh my god. I think I used to hate steak. I think you had steak cooked the wrong way.
Oh, you told me how you wanted me to get black and blue.
I don't like steak.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like beef. I don't like beef in general.
I went to a restaurant, asked for black and blue, didn't even know what it was. Turns out it's some like thing from Pennsylvania.
Of course.
They don't even
Try
sell
going
here.
to, I go into a restaurant and asking for fry sauce, see what the response is.
Oh.
fries.
The restaurant might either be just inferior, like they might not make steak properly, or
You don't know what fry sauce is?
yeah.
No,
Fuck
it's
is
a-
fry sauce.
It's
Then
a
I-
completely Utah, it's completely Utah Idaho thing where they basically mix
Call it ranch here.
they completely mix ketchup and mayonnaise to make a new sauce officially.
Ketchup and ranch.
It tastes really good. It's made officially by the brand Arctic Circle, which is native to Utah.
Okay,
Okay.
that makes sense. Mormon
Here's
land.
something I recommend.
Well,
Here's
of course it comes from Mormon land. Idaho and Utah are Mormon land.
And they got Missouri, with like weird mix of like Protestant and Muslim.
Oh well, I mean the Mormons believe your state is the Promised Land, so
I mean, yeah, that's kind of cool. I guess I live in like, Israel for
Mormons.
live in Israel for Mormons, yeah.
So here's my idea for the imperial nation. So England sided with the Central Powers in World War One.
Chad.
Britain became a central power
Hell yeah.
because it eventually became a crusade of monarchs to remain monarchs. And so the German Empire was pan-monarchist. They installed the Bourbons in France.
No.
What's wrong with the Bourbons?
You just ruined it.
What's wrong with the House of Bourbon? Who would you install in France?
Because they're French.
France has always sucked, honestly, until like World War II, they started to become pretty base.
Besides the
Oh, mon ami. No, 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 no.
I'm not, well, actually, I shouldn't say until World War II, because then I sound like I'm supporting Vichy France. I mean, like,
No.
Not Vichy France. Vichy France is gay.
Vichy France.
Le partisan? Oui. Le monarchiste?
I don't speak gay German.
Oh, mon ami. Mon ami. Disappointment. Нет. Нет. Я не говорит should get bombed, язык.
Что?
Я не говорит should get bombed, язык.
Mama это
Anyways, so my idea is that the British and German empires unite. They establish monarchies throughout Europe. Eventually, they mount an invasion on America.
Oh yeah.
Did Bosnia take it over?
No, the
Tell me
British.
they make it a puppet state. Please
The-
tell me they make it a puppet state. Please.
Please make it a puppet state.
Yes, it should be a puppet state.
Here's my idea. The House of Stuart agreed to take over America. And, leaders from the House of Stuart agreed to take over America and Canada in exchange for laying down their claims on England.
Windsor forever.
Long live Windsor forever.
Not a
Windsor
fan
by
of the
blood.
House of Windsor.
I am Windsor by blood, and I will defend it until my dying breath.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you are descended from like all the European monarchies, so.
Yeah, I mean, you're you're more than just a Windsor, Tavares.
I'm pretty
You're
much
like
everything.
a Bourbon. You're a Romano. You're a. See, what's the last name of you? You're a Habsburg.
Oh God.
Oh yes,
You're
long
a
live.
It's kind of sad, but whatever. You're
Am I a Hollandser too?
probably. I mean, you showed me your like DNA thing. You look like you're like related to the German king that lived before 1800.
Yeah.
Big base.
The first ancestor I found was Robert the Bruce.
Didn't you have like MLK or some shit there, what?
MLK, like Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah, I did.
I don't know
Winston
how that's
Churchill.
possible, honestly.
I had Winston Churchill and multiple U.S. presidents too, including Lincoln.
Okay. Well, meanwhile in the Stellaris, we pretty much, so I'm thinking this layout of ethic points. So we have authoritarian, spiritualist, militarist, elitist, authoritarian, spiritualist, militarist, and elitist. I'm thinking because of their Prussian origin, their nation is fanatic militarist. This doesn't mean xenophobic.
I'll be right back.
Okay. This doesn't mean xenophobic. This doesn't mean that they're not willing to produce allies and make friendship. But this also sort of doesn't, but this also doesn't mean that they are fanatic, too into gaining allies. They're authoritarian because they're monarchs. So of course they gotta be. They're spiritualist. Seamus, you there?
Yes.
Okay. They're spiritualists because of a vague Christian notion. Although the importance of religion was sort of replaced by a general attitude of servitude towards.
That is your general attitude.
Well-
Sorry, I'm just going.
Okay. The dominant role of religion was replaced by
You could work as a podcast as well.
Yeah, I guess this is sort of a podcast.
Yeah, like you can put this on the background, like while we're discussing like nations and Stellaris, also like just bringing up random like topics. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, okay. I mean, cool, that could actually work.
That's what's doing right now.
Yeah. So, here's my idea for our Stellaris Empire. So we are fanatic militarist because of our Prussian ancestry. Spiritualist because of a vague Christian notion, along with a sort of semi-worship of the imperial family. Kind of.
Are you going to make the leader a male? Curious.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm just
I don't know. Elitist because they have nobility. And authoritarian because they're a monarchy. So of course they
made a
gotta be
nation of
authoritative.
Stellaris. It was a nation for a completely authoritarian monarchist dragon race who tried to expand their empire across the entire galaxy. But I failed because I didn't understand combat very well.
Oh shit. Okay. So I'm guessing that the agrarian. Okay, I'm continuing to record. Already, this video is almost 30 minutes long. So, I'm thinking. Okay.
Does it feel like 30 minutes?
Here's a question: Does our empire have ancestor worship?
Well, you said
Yes.
it's a very Christian presence, so.
Like, I'm thinking a slight Christian presence combined
Ancestor worship, yes.
with a vague notion of Buddhism and
Ancestor
Confucianism. Ancestor worship, you approve?
Yes.
Sure. We might need to develop the religious thing.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I owned if I was in my own state, or whatever, or I led my own country. I would make the religion ancestor worship.
I
Badass.
thought you said you weren't religious, honestly. They said that.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but I would make the country ancestor worship to make the
So
notion
you would make it to state religion, basically.
that we would stay true to our ancestors, so that we would continue our traditions instead of moving on to different things.
I mean, that didn't work out for East Asia in the 19th and 20th centuries.
It might work out for European countries or Western countries.
I mean, yeah, East Asia had a problem basically just being isolated from the entire history.
Yeah. To
Europe
me that was the main problem. If East
From
Asia,
the Middle East and like parts of Africa, and like we all did shit on like.
Man, I met this one guy.
I
he
pers-
was fucking insane. I met this. I gotta tell you about this guy, okay? In one of my servers, I met this one guy, and he was batshit crazy. He believed that Genghis Khan was basically the reincarnation, like he was basically God, and that he has his own realm, and that he has his own realm, and that the end times have been signaled on December 25th because the Great Khan, as they call him, predicted it, and this is an actual religion in Mongolia called Mongolian shamanism.
What the hell am I? I've heard of shamanism. I didn't know it was like that.
But the funny thing about this guy is he's not Mongolian.
What the? Holy shit! Like Genghis Khan, the guy I'm directly descended from that guy from my dad's side, and even I admit, I knew it was meant to be batshit insane.
He thought that he was the great savior, the great Khan, the one who would lead them to the realm of greatness.
based.
What the hell?
The guy's insane, batshit, and amazing at the same time.
Genghis Khan, like, he made Mongolia strong, but at the same time, he killed 30 million.
I know he supported that. He was like the great.
He spread the black.
What?
He was like
I
like
don't
the
think.
great Gahan.
I don't think that the black.
Like Satan.
Wait. I don't think that the Black Plague was spread directly from Genghis Khan.
From the Mongols, the empire he started, yeah.
Yeah, the Mongols, but not from Genghis Khan. Don't blame Genghis Khan.
Okay, so basically, he also believed that the Great Khan, when he killed 30 million people, tried to get them to see the light that the world was going to end and that they needed to go with him. But they didn't do it.
It sounds like a corrupted version of the Book of Revelations, except the Book of Revelations was like...
He basically believed the killing of 30 million people was because Genghis Khan wanted them to go his way and they needed to go his way.
Are you talking about the Batsuri guy?
His name was Tanzeg.
Yeah, I know him, yeah. He deleted his Discord account, but I know who he is.
She's hilarious.
He DM'd me one time. He was on a server called Ladushka. You ever heard of that? And
No.
Oh my gosh, yes.
he said, tonight there's 2 planets in a line. I said, what? He said,
Yeah, it's him! Oh my god, you got the same message.
Yes!
There's 2 planets that align. I think he said, like, Saturn and Jupiter.
It's
And I
the
remember seeing
same
it, too.
message.
And he
Dude.
said, like, Genghis Khan predicted
had-
this before he died.
Did he have a blue flame as his profile picture? A blue profile
He's
picture.
had, like,
with a-
5 accounts. I swear. He's like, DM me on 5 different accounts. This guy's weird.
He joined one of my servers. Who is that? He's a Mongolian European shaman. That's the thing. And he calls Genghis Khan the Great Khan.
Okay, I'm thinking that.
Joins is also talking to this guy.
Oh yeah, I have.
He joins his streams occasionally. Like I've legit seen him on his streams. This dude must be like following us.
He must
Anyway.
be. He doesn't know me. I haven't removed
I've
the
seen
block.
streams with him as well. This dude, he sounds like he's like from Eastern Europe. Like he has a Slavic accent.
Well, why would he be following us?
I don't know. He's probably. I wouldn't say he's alt because he does not sound like anyone that we know. But he must have, like. I think he first met us from Ladushka. Me and Julius are on a Ladushka server.
He
Yeah.
doesn't know me. He just told me like.
This Stellaris live stream, this Stellaris podcast became a talk about some conspiracy theories that join our.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to them.
Fucking Genghis Khan shaman. Let me tell you, if you were out there right now, I'll give you this message right now. The Great Khan didn't fucking predict everything. Your entire ideology is fucking batshit. Just go and fix yourself.
I mean, I agree, but anyways, I'm thinking about this other civic point for the Stellaris game. Imperial incentive. Let me read this. Unlike a traditional society with strict hierarchical structures, the ruler of this empire gives an incentive to lower classes to join the military. This incentive offers some hope for those of a low status to have a slightly better life. They are rewarded by gaining titles, the promise of free land and loot from conquered enemies, forgiveness for wrongdoing or improved conditions, or even freedom from slavery. This causes much of the lower class to feel that they have a stake in the Empire's wars of conquest.
I'm sorry.
I like it. I like it. You?
I think it's alright.
Yeah.
Just had that image of the boxer guy.
Yeah. I mean, true. Here's another one. Okay. Which do you think you would prefer? Militant zealots, religious fundamentalists, which army maintains strong traditions of intense martial training, both physical and spiritual. They have to be always ready to protect their religious beliefs from infidels.
Full Islam moment.
I mean, I also sort of like it.
Wrong moment.
Here's a little thing. Temples replace priests with Templar jobs. Allowed to use special unity. Oh, this is good. This is good. Allowed to use special unity ambition. Divine Crusade. You in?
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that... Oh shit, no more. Wait,
And yes, you remember that time you told me Julius converted to Islam and I freaked out?
Yeah. We've done that a couple times, especially with Sam, or Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He did what?
It was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I'll be right back. Okay.
Oh shit. We're probably going to have to remove either ancestor worship or imperial incentive. I like imperial incentive. I'm going to keep that because I'm thinking that I'm going to play this nation as someone would play Prussia. So basically ultra militaristic with the desire to control, but also sort of taking care of its civilians, but also very based on imperial monarchy. I'm thinking about replacing ancestral worship with militant zealots because I can only have 2 civics, which is sad. Name.
I might like a lot of Prussian influence.
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking Prussian influence. Basically, the central powers in this timeline were pan-monarchist as opposed to nationalist. And so Germany was a lot more like Austria-Hungary as opposed to, say, Imperial Germany was a lot more like Austria-Hungary as opposed to different Germany that existed several decades later. And so Imperial Germany, they became very, very, very supportive of spreading the ideal of monarchy. And it's not like 100 years ago where, and essentially what happened was that they got the British too, they got the Russians, and eventually they sort of made an imperial federation. So World War I never happened, but eventually nations like Germany and stuff like that formed an imperial federation, where essentially that would pretty much preserve the world against communism, against republicanism and democracy, against the liberals. And through several hundred years, they came out on top. And now it's 2200. A great technological revolution has occurred.
1,000 years? That contradicts that, though, because it wasn't several thousand years if now it's now 2100.
No, yeah, and I didn't say, I meant several hundred years. Through several hundred years, they end up on top. And so the Imperial Federation, they become a main and dominant superpower in the world. The main dominant superpower in the world. And so essentially, at this point, the entire world is controlled by the Imperial Federation. Or, as of now, the Imperial Pact. Because we want to avoid too much of...
USA.
Even the USA, they won a war with the USA, and so pretty much now every nation is within the Imperial Pact. And right
What
now,
is the USA now? Is it its own like empire or what?
the US, well, I actually don't know what position the US would be in, but I'm guessing it would be one of servitude within the Imperial Pact, one where they're forced to join. I'm gonna pick a badass one like this. Okay, here. Thinking of maybe making the entire flag gray? No. Oh, white and black? You know what I wish I could do? White,
Huh.
red, and black.
White, red, and
Definitely get a lot more options on PC than you do on console.
Most of this is because of mods.
I never
Yeah.
played Stellaris on either platform.
Oh, no. I don't like that symbol. Oh, okay. Let's make the primary color black. And the secondary color white.
I've never even played Horde 4. I'd like to play Horde 4.
Horde 4 is pretty good, but really hard. You got to be skilled at it. Like I went on there and had this mod installed, right? Well, I'm playing on it, but basically it's Modern Nations, and he plays ISIS on it. For some reason, ISIS is more powerful than any other nation. Why? I don't fucking know.
Wait, what?
I'm not even joking. If you get Horde 4 today, download the Millennium Dawn mod and plays ISIS. You will have power over every other nation around you, but if you play a country like Turkey, you lose immediately in a war.
Jesus. Yeah, that's why you don't trust mods like that. I mean, I won't play base Horde 4 before anything.
Oh!
I'm gonna get the
Here's the idea of the first leader of the Imperial Pact. The first leader of the Imperial Pact. His name? Tiberius Habsburg. This is who we start with.
I also would like to install the Fallout New Vegas mod, where I can play as nations of Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. Fallout 4 is pretty based.
I wish I had a way for it. Someone would screen share with me. I'd be fucking happy.
I would, but I never go to the sale. If it goes on sale for $10, I'll get it if I can.
You approve of Tiberius Habsburg?
Like a few months back for like 14.
You approve of Tiberius Habsburg?
Yeah, sure. Now, they're a pretty big system, despite the fact that kind of incest.
Yeah, other than the incest, they were based.
Other than the incest, they are pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, I give them a
To
personal
be honest,
excuse.
every human family did incest, because that's the only way you could fuck them up.
I mean, yeah, not in modern history, really. Like old, like in the past, yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you know, it's people blame monarchy because of it. Yeah, people blame monarchy because of it, when in reality it's just the past.
Monarchy was everyone.
Yeah, it wasn't just monarchy, it was everyone.
I mean, if you look in the South, especially, probably, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Not just the South. They do it in a lot of northwestern states and northern states too. In Ohio, it's actually illegal.
Yeah. Here,
I think it's kind of strict here. You can marry like your fourth cousin. I think it's like the
Imperial Pact.
Fuck that shit. That's so gross. Why?
Take a look at the Imperial Pact. You approve of this nation?
Yes, I do.
So, should we make allied nations in this, or should I do this on my own spare time and start my Stellaris podcast?
Huh?
Should we make allied nations and enemy nations of the Imperial Pact? Or should I do this purely on my own time?
You can decide, or because like
You can decide that what the podcast is going to start on.
yeah, I like it so much. It's like it's more of a chat one, but like also in the background, kind of designing a Stellaris scenario.
Yeah. I mean, okay. This is a hat.
Like, we don't talk about some like imperialist Stellaris nation. Talk about some dude who worships Genghis Khan to incest in Europe. It's really
Yeah. I'm thinking of making a rival republic to the Imperial.
The mask mandate in Tennessee.
I don't think they lifted it here yet, but here they kind of follow the CDC thing. Like now they really don't care. They never really figured. Like you were able to go. Again, I'm not giving my exact location in Missouri, but like where I live in Missouri, it's pretty strict, like very strict in fact. But like if you went to a restaurant, if they didn't require you to wear a mask, they wouldn't really care.
No, it's like.
I mean,
People walk
here in
around
Nebraska,
with masks, yeah, you know where it is.
here in Nebraska, here's what I do.
I have to wear masks at school now. It's kind of annoying. 'Cause I just went back to regular school.
You want to hear some?
You gotta wear
I mean,
masks in school. That's a pretty big risk of infecting the virus in there.
yeah, of course. If they actually cared about shutting down the virus, they would shut down all the schools.
Yeah, they would shut down the schools, but the government forces you to go. So what can you do?
I mean, I don't mind going to school. I do prefer it because my grades are tanking like hell, but like at the same time, I think it's kind of annoying because
I was forced to go back. Basically what happened is the sheriff I moved and the sheriff in the other county basically forced me to go back. So.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah, this summer class thing though, it's good in theory. You know, it's gonna get some semester.
Yeah. Neoski has to have summer
It's
class.
kind of annoying. It takes up the entire half of my summer.
Yeah, it ends at July
27th.
27th. Yeah, July 22nd. No one it should exist. No one when it should exist. It should exist either for the first part of June or for the first part.
So you're saying they're extending it?
Okay, no, what is so basically I get out of school on June 4th. My summer school starts on June 14th and it ends on July 22nd.
I don't have summer school because you have to pay for that.
Which would mean that the most of my summer break is going to be in August.
I don't have summer school because we can't pay for that. So.
You're free. I'm kind of forced to go.
It's not free here.
I'm crazy
You have
as
to pay
shit.
for it here.
Well, thank God I don't have to do it, but
I don't care if I graduate anyways. I think it's a waste of time.
my
I do want a good job.
I
get a job without graduation. A lot of people have.
What about a good job?
I mean, get a good job without graduation. Depends on if you go to a trade school or not.
here's basically me with graduation. The school they try to make it. Here's advice when you get to my level. I'm currently a junior right now in high school. I'm currently a junior in high school. Let me give you advice. If you need to graduate, here's what you do. If you need to graduate from high school and you need to do it early or you need to do it later, whenever,
You take the GED.
here's what you do. Ask, okay, so I've taken all these classes, I've passed all these classes, what classes do I need to graduate? There was one time when I met with Sarah, my counselor, to essentially decide the classes that I would take. And the counselor put me with all these different classes, and I was like, here's the college algebra, here's the blah blah blah, here's the blah blah blah, here's the blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh my god, no. And eventually here's what I said. What classes do I need to take in order to graduate? Oh, well, you only need these two. There are literally 3 more classes that I had to take in order to graduate. 3 more, and yet the counselor just kept repeating all these different classes and all that. All I needed was 3 more. And so I'm only taking those 3 more. Because A, I don't like the school system. I don't trust the school system. Yeah, I'm taking only... Yeah, my next... It's gonna be a breeze. My next semester...
In my opinion, graduation is just the standard set by society in order for you to be able to be successful, but the standard is practically invisible because there are limitless possibilities in the United States of America.
Yeah. It's just a standard, but guess what? I get to graduate early. I get to graduate in October. if I pass my math class, and I'm
I could
fighting
pass
my
math class,
damnedest.
but
I'm fighting my
Yeah,
damnedest to pass the math
I'm
class.
not giving my age group, but I'm not gonna give my age, but I'm way below my age in terms of math.
Oh, me too.
And the only reason I'm not giving my age is because I just don't feel it since it's on that podcast.
Yeah,
It's horrible.
I'm not.
Well,
I mean, I think
I
we
was
can all guess
diagnosed
the
with math
really
deficiency
thing,
a long time ago, so.
Yeah, I actually sort of like the podcast idea though. It's less of
Oh, yeah.
a let's play and more of a podcast. What do you think should be the enemy of the Imperial Federation? What do you think? What type of species should they be?
You should make it the enemy be a corporatist hellhole.
Oh
Of course. So basically, fascist, isn't it?
no, he means like He means corporation.
Oh, I thought you said corporatist.
A corporate. I think
Oh.
he did say corporatist, but he means corporation. I'm thinking, here's an idea. It's essentially a combination of all the values that I hate.
So, Serbian nationalism,
No.
Chinese independence, anti-war crimes,
Anti-war
and communism.
Yes.
Pro-communist.
So, greater. Okay, here's the name of our empire. Empire name: United Greater Serbian Socialist Republics of Chinese independence from Imperial Japan. So that's what it's called. Okay, this is the enemy nation. United Greater Serbian Socialist Republics of Soviet Socialist Republics of Chinese independence from Imperial Japan and the modern school system. Yes.
I will make a flag.
The United Serbian Socialist Republics of Chinese independence from Imperial Japan. Okay. Do it.
Serbian flag, next to the Chinese flag and a Japanese flag.
No, it should be anti-Imperial Japan.
Communist Chinese Serbian flag.
Yes, communist Chinese. Yes, do it. I'll probably show it at a later part of the live stream, but
Live
Yeah.
stream.
not live stream, podcast.
I don't want to say you're streaming right now.
No, I'm not. No.
See, I'm gonna join in.
Yeah, no, I'm not live streaming right now. I'm just podcasting.
I'm over here waiting for someone to come here, and while I'm on this podcast.
Yeah. Same thing happened to me. I was on an Islamic live stream, and I know how I should conclude the podcast, though. But I'm not going to do it yet. Long before I should. Okay. So, United Greater Serbian Socialist Republics of Chinese independence from Imperial Japan. I need to have the Kyokujit and like a cross on the Kyokujitsu. I mean, I don't actually love Imperial Japan. I jokingly love Imperial Japan.
Well, I don't think I'm not gonna get into Japan, like, honestly.
Yeah, I'm anti-Imperial Japan, but I jokingly love Imperial
I
Japan.
do think, I don't know how to say. Actually, I don't think I should say this because
Well, you know, Imperial Japan wasn't bad before the Nanking massacres.
Well, I think honestly, Imperial Japan became bad in the 1860s.
Yeah,
That's when Japan really started doing their imperialism shit.
yeah, Imperial Japan was bad even during the reign of Meiji. But at the same time, it's...
Your idea just sucked, honestly. Like,
Let me be honest about...
And Tojo was the worst. probably the worst elected figure in human history.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a Jew whose family survived the Holocaust. I mean, seriously.
What should we name our species? I don't want a shitpost name. I want a sort of legitimate scenario.
A legitimate country? There's not many.
Like, not a real country on Earth. A legitimate country: Japan, Japanese China, Japanese Korea, Japanese Taiwan, Japanese West China, Japanese Siberia, Japanese Mongolia. Yeah, those are legitimate countries. I was actually considering doing a Stellaris playthrough of Imperial Japan, fighting Kivul, and all that. Maybe we could actually make the rival nation the Republic of Kivul.
Possibly.
Yeah. Kivuli. So, the Republic of Kivul. I'm trying to find, like, I don't have that mod. Oh, Polish names. Okay. Kivul GN. I'm okay, of course, adaptive, nomadic, and wasteful. Yeah, species changed to human. My idea is that they went on a random area. These people, Kivul, they're not trying to reunite with the rest of humanity. They sort of want to establish their own political independence. Oh my god. Crystal system. Here, okay, here's my idea. Okay, trinary. What should we call the name? It has, again, this Kivul has to be pretty Polish. So I'm thinking either a Polish or Hungarian name.
Polish. What?
Well, this is the nation that we're fighting. So, I personally love Poland. I love it. I love the idea of Zapadoslavia. I know.
Yes, Jipple. Yes, Jipple.
Wait. Hey, let me sing properly. Polish anthem lyrics English.
I mean, Poland was one of the last countries in Europe, though. I'm not going to get into why for this podcast we can, but it's probably the last good European nation at this point.
Jeszcze Polska nie umarła, kiedy my żyjemy. Co nam obca moc wydarła, sable odbijemy. Marsz, marsz tabryski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski. Oh my god, a fucking Ruski. Fuck Russia. My opinions on Russia are very negative. Vive España, los pueblos hijos.
Franco is probably one of the. I'm pretty anti-faction. Oh yeah, I forgot. I get to say that. I'm anti-fascist, but
Yeah, let me be honest. I'm trying to get Uncle Sam to join the
He
podcast.
is here. He has joined the podcast.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Careful what you say.
I am here.
Ah, yes. So, welcome, Uncle Sam. So, yeah, we're being recorded.
Yes.
This is a sort of YouTube video that I'm creating. Yeah, legit. Yeah, a podcast that's ultra super based.
Yes, although there is one guideline. You can't say anything too big because
Yeah,
Korea tube exists.
yeah, because Korea too. Honestly, though, I'm going to tell you my opinion on Korea. Say what you want. Korea is one of the most hypocritical nations in the globe.
Yeah, what they're doing to the machinery.
Oh yeah, not only what they do to the Boshinarese, but them demanding the Japanese to apologize for crimes that the Japanese already apologized for, whilst Korea not apologizing for their own crimes.
Japan isn't even teaching Nanking in the school system.
I'm not a fan of Japan. I'm not saying that I'm a fan of Imperial Japan, but at the same time,
Yeah, I have an idea for Korea.
what?
Make it a state.
I believe Japan could recreate Korea.
No.
Uh,
No, it is one word.
no, it just too much violence, too much chaos.
Plus, no one in Korea wants to be Japanese. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely no one has.
Yeah, I.
Oh well, maybe they
It's not
should
even historically Japanese. Yeah, and Japan needs to apologize for Nanking.
Well, Japan already apologized it.
No, they're not. Look at the Japanese forces. And tell me if they apologize for Nanking.
I mean, Japan basically doesn't have a military.
I've had a friend who actually went to one of those schools in Japan, and they teach about the Nanking Massacre.
If you look at the Japanese curriculum, though, it's only on one page of the history books. Japan
I mean,
should have just been divided like Germany. But
No. You realize
Japan had special treatment.
Yeah, because we didn't want to fucking help with other emperor.
Not only did they also wanted to be a useful side within the. We also wanted Japan in the Cold to help us in the Cold War.
Well, okay, there's a thing though. It's just if you want to do something, it's different than if you need to. Japan was just made. They played a stupid game and they should have earned a stupid prize. But no, they played a stupid game and then won in the end.
Do not tell me that they won. That's a little too far.
Hey, the United States government wanted to trial and execute and put Hirohito for the war despite it being told that was
It should be both. It is both their fault.
No, it wasn't. Roosevelt had complete control over the military, and Emperor Hirohito did not. Hirohito actually expressed this May over Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Well, they did.
Didn't hear he
In fact, when
They didn't hear he got a horrible.
the Japanese government is surrendered to the Americans, some of the army nearly overthrew the emperor to keep the war going.
I mean, what about the Karl Dönitz of Germany? They punished him for stuff he didn't do. It's Japan.
Yeah, no, Charles Dönitz deserved to be the best German puncher.
Let me tell you.
Charles Dönitz was innocent, and he had no part in the Holocaust, despite the Allies saying he did.
Hey. Again, you're being recorded. This is meant to be a podcast.
I know that.
I would like to change. We're changing the topic of the conversation in order to avoid KoreaTube censoring us. So, I know. But, Dönitz. and the right arm people. The right arm people.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk. Let's change the subject because I do not want to get censored. So,
You know, you realize that anything we talk about political-wise is innocent, right?
Well, it gets even worse when you talk about raising armed German people. So,
yeah.
Well, you realize that people who... You realize I got my channel deleted for posting songs?
Hang on.
I had 3 channels. I had 3 channels of mine just completely terminated by YouTube for songs I
Okay.
posted.
We're talking about something else. We're not talking about censorship.
And one of those songs was an American song.
Roll with Ross, I think it was.
No, it wasn't that.
No. Oh my God, that song. Yeah, no. Anyways, so right now, in our YouTube video, so we're taking a look at our rival nation. It's the Republic of Kivul. Here. Do you have any good names for the Republic of Kivul?
Imperial Republic of People.
Can I?
Like, for the homeland.
The Express one.
Can I express some of my political opinions real quick?
Yeah.
You can, but don't go too off the walls.
Yeah.
I will
Topics
go
are
off the walls.
Yeah, you go.
I believe the United States of America should abolish political parties and reaffirm its right as a republic free from the tyranny of the corporate warfare system that Eisenhower warned about, and I believe the American Republic should remain free from internationalism.
I actually kind of agree with you on some points there, honestly.
Yeah,
Although
I
the
agree.
two-party system would be really hard to abolish. With the,
Yeah,
how much dominance it has in the U.S.
yeah. I'm fine with the two-party system as long as the two parties are expensive enough.
I mean, I think voting is
No.
logical.
Like, I'm against it. I'm against it.
Any sort of party system.
Yeah, I'm against the party system, but it's like they'd still do it behind the walls. You know, they'd still do it.
In my belief, I believe that your loyalty to the republic and your know-how of the political system should be what gets you in Congress. Not based on the political party, not based on just the vote, not based on just the money, not based on
Yeah, you should be
your
experienced.
background and your family and where they came from.
You should be experienced. You shouldn't have some sort of background that you started going like.
Okay.
There's been people in my Congress that have only joined because their great grandfather was like a part of some rich family in some random state. Like that's not how it should be.
Oh, I know. I personally would restrict. Here's something I would do if I took charge in the United States. If I was given permission to change the United States and transform it, say if the government collapsed and I was in charge of building a new regime, one of the things I would do is I would require a test before you vote. And you would have to
That's
pass...
kind of what review did in a way. Although I'm not going to get into that topic.
Yeah.
Well, you know why.
Yeah, you know why.
In the 1950s, you had protests where each American citizen had to do a test before you had the power to vote.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be racist tests. They would be tests saying, for example, who founded the country? Who did this in the country's history?
Well,
Yeah.
people vote can't even answer those. Like they just start like if you ask someone the first president, and I'm not kidding you. I was in class the other day. They're doing some like simple tests my teacher assigned us about the Bill of Rights, And they asked what the Second Amendment was, and some kid said it was like the free speech amendment. People are
What?
not experiencing this.
No, you should memorize. This should be obvious to most people. You should memorize, you know.
I've read the Constitution of the United States of America 7 times in my life so far.
Cool.
Or the Constitution.
Here's what I would have done. I would say that the United States would be forced to reform its nation. Like, here's I would have there be a basic political test. You have to answer historical questions. You have to know stuff about government. You have to know stuff about that. And the test would be engineered in a way. And of course, I would also have one stipulation to the test, but I'm going to talk about that later. The test would be designed in a way that your average citizen shouldn't have to, wouldn't be able to vote all the time.
Well, you have to keep in mind, the average citizen isn't the one that isn't the average liberal or conservative.
Yeah, okay. The average liberal and the average conservative. The average person who's walking down the street probably not going to be able to vote.
Yeah, just walking through your local 7-Eleven, you're going to find someone who just doesn't know anything about politics. You won't say, like, Trump 2024 or Biden 2024.
Yeah, and just know with no smart. And so
they don't know what they're saying. They're biased. They go off
they're
propaganda. They don't even research stuff.
Yeah, they're repeating the same words over and over again. And so what I would do is I would have there be a test for every citizen, and the average person who doesn't know anything probably not going to be able to pass that test, and so he's not going to be allowed to vote.
And this is why we need to reform our school system.
Oh
Yeah, and that's the second step. The first,
because I got C's.
In the 1950s, the school system taught every American how to be a patriotic citizen, and it taught American history as a standardized stipulation in all schools in the United States.
American history nowadays, they teach in schools like this. They talk about slavery, Revolutionary War, and World War II. Barely. That's like basically what they talk about.
I mean, I realize that my American history class is pretty lucky. But what I would do is I would try to have a conversation within the schools. I would open dialogue within it. But I would say, here's, as an American, I'm pretty patriotic towards my country. And so I would probably, you would probably have to align somewhat with America to get into here. And another thing...
I mean, yeah, you don't want someone who hates the country voting.
Yeah.
Anything, pretty much all the, I don't know how to say this. A lot of the left wing and the far right wing. Yeah, them.
Yeah, those people, the radicals, should not be able to vote. And all these people there are people within this country that have too much power. They shouldn't be able to vote. They shouldn't have that power, but they do. And it's a question of why.
Like standard liberals and standard conservatives, they're okay on their own. But the thing is, it depends on how radical they are. If a liberal is like radical, like for example Kamala Harris, they shouldn't be able to vote. If a conservative is radical, like the I can't remember her name. There's some person like denied a school shooting from happening in Congress. Like if they're like that, then.
Thing is this, I think that the only requirement should be you should have know-how. Because what if someone that's perceived radical at a certain time might actually be the true way forward, and that way, even though that they know everything and no, I'm not going to do that, but you should affirm your oath towards America. Another thing is I would have it so that I would close a lot of legal loopholes for corporations to buy senators. And I would make every senator's Republic history intact. So what they do at a certain time, who they donate their money to at any given moment, it would be on a certain feed of the senator. And when they retire from politics, fine. But they can never run an election. They might be able to vote, maybe.
I think honestly, if you're a politician, you shouldn't be able to vote because.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about retired politicians.
Well, no, even then, I don't think they should. Because they.
Do you know the loophole of military industrial complex?
Well, my idea. I have another idea for the military.
Do you know what military industrial complex works? Do you know how it works?
You're probably a lot smarter on me in the subject, so.
Explain. I've heard the term, but explain.
The military industrial complex is a revolving triangular door system. Alright? This deals with the U.S. service personnel that get old enough and they serve Congress. When they serve Congress, they get through with that and retire and work at arms manufacturing companies such as Boeing, such as other companies that produce military equipment and work on the corporate level. Alright? They pay politics. They buy politicians left and right on how to keep the military industrial complex going.
Okay.
Alright. The same system is what Dwight D. Eisenhower said in his farewell address in 1961.
I sort of like on that. I mean, kind of neutral on that, really.
The thing about this is, in military industrial complex keeps America in foreign wars. This keeps America in the Middle East. This keeps America with over 1,000 military bases across the planet. This keeps America the military power of the planet.
Honestly, though, I think that the whole foreign wars thing, that's kind of the U.S. shouldn't be involved in this. So.
Oh, I agree.
Because like that's one thing I think Joe Biden
military
is withdraw out of Afghanistan.
You realize that was Trump's order?
You know who executed it? And I don't even like Biden.
Trump was the one who made the order, and Biden just told him.
It's a good thing he did.
Another Vietnam we have.
Afghan?
Afghanistan is like it's a pointless war. Like,
Already it was the Russian Afghan.
After we killed Osama bin Laden, we changed his life, but we didn't. Because Obama and Trump had to keep us in there, and Biden too. If he wasn't president.
No, instead we have to go into Afghanistan and form the poppy field so we can get opium out of the place and sell it to the American people so we can lock them up for the prisoners after the time point.
It's just like the Iraq situation.
Yeah,
Although
we went
left
to
out-
Iraq
we
to
left
steal
Iraq.
the oil.
I can't remember the year we withdrawn from Iraq. Because the first time we withdrew was like in
That
2011.
was that.
And then ISIS happened,
That's when
and
we
that,
were-
and then we withdrawn again in like 2018 when Trump was in power.
Yeah. Then we tried to overthrow Assad in Syria so we could take their oil.
Assad's face.
Yeah,
So
Assad is
our
Syria.
the current rival, our current rival in Stellaris is the United Greater Serbian Socialist Republics of Chinese Independence from Imperial Japan.
How long is that freaking name?
Okay, here let me put it here.
But my opinion is I believe the United States of America should regard its military and America's back going on with Latin America.
You know, it's about the military. As someone who's the son of someone who's a sergeant military for 6 years, I can tell you, the military is just treated like shit nowadays.
Yeah,
Like my dad's benefits that he's supposed to be getting. he doesn't get any of those. The VA hospital, like, the Veterans Hospital, it's no better than any other hospital. It's just absolute horseshit. They treat veterans.
I had a school janitor who was my friend. He was a Vietnam War vet, and when he came back home, so many people spat in his face, he literally about lost his mind.
I mean, my dad never saw war, but he was still in the military. Just like every veteran, war or not,
But
they
the
should
thing
be
about
treated
he
right.
never. But the thing about this, he never actually did any fighting against the North Vietnamese army. All he did was relay messages and help load artillery. That was it.
Yeah, of course.
May have been an easy job, but I still think it would be.
And he came back home, and the people spat on him and called him a village burner and a baby killer. He finally said, I never killed a single person.
The Americans may not have been, the best nation in Vietnam, but we shouldn't do that to a veteran.
Oh my God, yeah.
You don't try to spit in their face like that. Like, that's just wrong.
And the Veterans Association just tried to pull the worst move possible. They tried to say that he was not a veteran. They tried to say that he's just skimming off of them.
That's ridiculous. I think they tried to do that to my step-grandfather.
That despite him providing the paperwork from the federal government itself that he was a veteran of the Vietnam War, served as a sergeant of the United States Army.
What the hell? Look, I know somebody who went in Vietnam.
The paperwork.
I know somebody who told the experience of him in Vietnam. He told how bad the Korean government was. He told how bad the American government was. We were shitbags in Vietnam. He was a Vietnam War vet. He's dead now. Turns out he,
The veteran who was my best friend even had the paperwork verified at the VA itself by the U.S. Army itself, and the Veterans Association just kicked him out.
wow.
They tried doing that to my step-grandpa one time. He never saw conflict, but he was over in Korea.
They kicked out a fucking veteran who had his papers that was verified because they called him a nuisance.
Take a look at take a look at our big.
You're giving them all these like drugs and shit that they don't need to be taking. Just give them PTSD instead of removing it like they say it will.
Take a look at the.
They put all the expenditure of his funeral because he died. He literally died last year. They literally put all that expenditure on his family.
Wow, I'm scared this is gonna happen.
What the fucking hell?
And they were caught inflating the pay rate and just literally left it upon his family.
I'm just so pissed. I'm just that pissed at them. They can suck.
Honestly,
They can fuck off.
And I confirm that because as I said
And
before,
now, military, the states in Washington D.C. stand against the criminal riot are literally forced to pay for your private company buildings that are not privately owned.
Anyways, take a look at the nation that we're rivaling in Stellaris, the Republic of Kivor. Is there anything we need to add to it? So basically,
Syrian imperialism.
huh?
Syrian imperialism.
So basically,
Right.
they're the ultimate threat to our nation. They're the ultimate antithesis of our nation. And so take a look at them. Liberal democracy. They're supposedly beacon of. They're essentially. I really want them to be democratic crusaders. And so the way I hope that they will be played, I hope that their personality will be essentially democratic crusaders that will intervene in whatever country they possibly can to spread the ideology of democracy. Do we need any other nations? Do we need any nation as opposed to the Imperial Pact and Republic of Kivul? Do we need, say, different alien nations, or can we just go as the Imperial Pact?
I think Imperial Pact's fine.
Okay.
And I'll be right
Yeah,
back as well.
that's the same.
I'll be right back, like a minute or two.
Okay. До свидания. So right now, take a look at Stellaris. We're taking a look. Oh. Crisis type.
Yeah, how do you like treatment of my best friend who was a Vietnam War veteran?
I just can't stand it. I don't want to. Like.
Yeah.
Look, the United States wasn't perfect in Vietnam. We were horrible. In fact, we were shit in Vietnam, and no one's going to tell me that we weren't. But the way they would treat a veteran, I mean, we were fighting the right fight. We were fighting a fight against communism, but there's a difference between fighting against communism and fighting for genocide and atrocity. And we went that one step above.
What do you mean genocide?
Well, not genocide, but we did do a lot of atrocities. Wait, hang on. I think that the Imperial Pact needs a different system. Imperial Pact edit. Origin, name and class. Oh. Sol system. Okay, so this is the Imperial Pact. I'm gonna tell you this though. This is the way they do it is very immoral with what happened to the veteran. Hello? The way we treated our own soldiers. Shit. I can't hear you. Fuck. Okay. Now say something. God damn it. I think it's... hang on. Well, I can still hear them as of... Well, I cannot hear them as of now. But... Anyways, I'm trying to talk here, but I will shut down my computer, turn it back on. My podcast is officially over. I hope you enjoyed my podcast. This is a fun podcast. Episode 2 will come out shortly following this. Anyways, for now, до свидания.